Hey, beautiful. I need to talk to you for a second because I know if you're listening to my show, you are exhausted and you feel like you've been fighting the same battle for decades. Maybe you've tried therapy, you've done programs, you've been to treatment, you've read the books, you've listened to the podcast, and yet here you are, still avoiding, still letting numbers control you. You're tired. Very, very tired, like bone deep tired, soul crushing tired. And not just from the behaviors, but mostly from the noise, the constant, relentless noise that lives in between your ears about food and weight and what you can eat next and when you're allowed to eat it. You look at other women your age who seem effortlessly free around food and you wonder if that could ever be you. You wonder if this life and this disorder and this voice in your mind is just your forever companion. Gosh, I remember this, that unwelcome roommate who's been living rent free. Sis, here's what I want you to know. You are not broken beyond repair. You are not too old. You are not too set in your ways. And you are definitely not destined to live with that unwelcome roommate. Today, we're talking about the two words that can truly reframe and change things in your life. Two words that separate the women who stay stuck from the women who break free. If you're ready to evict that voice from your head and reclaim your life, then today's episode is made for you. Hey girl, welcome to the Her Best Self podcast. I'm Lindsay Nickel, former competitive figure skater and perfectionist, turned God-led imperfect boy mom and digital CEO. If you find yourself constantly thinking about food and wondering if you'll wake up one day free from the obsessive thoughts and behaviors controlling your life, then I've created this podcast for you. Because I know exactly what it's like to be a downright hot mess, trapped in a destructive cycle of disordered eating. I finally found freedom, and you can too, girlfriend. So if you're ready to heal your relationship with food and body and break the chains of control and show up in your best health, then grab your favorite Tarjay journal and let's get to it. So you can start living your best life as your best self. Sister, friend, do I have a show for you today? I just got off of a fiery client call and I am so fired up. I am so ready to just drop it like it's hot right here on today's show. I am talking to you, sis. If you have tried therapy and treatment and programs and you are exhausted and you are just like, this noise in my mind, is this going to be my forever companion? You want your life back and you want to stop the noise, the constant calculations, the weight obsession, the exercise compulsion. Today, we're talking about two words that can end some of this noise that is living in your mind. But seriously, I want to start today by saying the two words for you. No more. No more. And most women, they say no more to food, right? We restrict our food to their body, right? Like no more taking up space. No more. I'm talking about saying no more to that voice that's been running the show. When you step behind the identity of the woman who no longer tolerates this voice living rent-free in her brain, everything changes. Because here's what I know about you. You don't tolerate nonsense anywhere else in your life. In fact, all of my one-on-one clients, they have built successful careers, raised families, managed households. Like they are it. Sis, you're it. Yet, for some reason, you've allowed this voice to be the most demanding, ungrateful tenant that you've ever come in contact with. And it's time to serve an eviction notice. Okay. So when you're saying, I can't eat that, I can't skip my workout, what I want you to be saying is no more, I can't. Every time you say I can't, you're reinforcing the prison walls. In fact, they get even harder to break. But the woman whose identity is set in freedom for her future, she is saying, I'm choosing not to right now. Okay, this gives you choice versus restriction. I'm learning to trust my body right now. That gives you growth versus impossibility. Because when you say I can't, you're simply shutting down. Your brain is not going to search for ways that you can find freedom if you're telling yourself consciously or subconsciously that there's no way you can. So I really want you to think about limiting your language, okay? No more. We are saying no more, no more, no more. I literally got off this call and I was like, no, we're not doing this anymore. We're not doing this anymore. And that was the energy between my client and I. In fact, I love this one-on-one space. And if you are looking for a coach that is in it with you, that is navigating the highs and the lows of recovery, I'm your girl, because we get in it, sis. We get in it. I need you to understand that this is not something that you should be doing by yourself, right? So find someone or work with someone, of course, listen to the show and apply these principles, but make sure that person understands eating disorders. And also, I cannot stress this enough, this person can't just be like your friend or your ally. This person has to rally behind you and be, yes, your biggest cheerleader, but also push you and hold you accountable. So we are no longer saying, I can't. No more, I can't. Okay, no more, I can't. How about this? No more, I'm too tired. I'm too tired to cook real food. I'm too tired to figure this out. I'm too tired to fight this struggle. I'm too tired to recover. You are not too tired to recover. You're exhausted from fighting the wrong battle. Yes, I said it. I said it. You've been fighting your body instead of fighting for your body, friend. You have been fighting food instead of fighting for nourishment. You have been fighting yourself instead of fighting for yourself. The woman who's free, she redirects that energy toward healing, and she's not directing it toward controlling. No more. No more, I can't. No more, I'm too tired. And here's another one. No more, what if? What if I gain weight? What if people notice? What if I can't control myself and I go off the rails? What if this doesn't work out? What if you stay exactly where you are for 5 more years? How about 10 more years? That's the question, right? What if you miss your daughter's wedding? What if you miss your son's graduation, or you miss those last moments with your mom because you're obsessing over your menu or your body or the scale or your metrics or your workout or when you're going to work out? What if you spend your golden years counting calories instead of making memories? The what ifs that should terrify you the most are the ones about wasting more of your precious life. So whenever your mind starts going, what if I gain weight? Okay, what if I stay exactly where I am for 5 more years? Are you going to be satisfied with that? Here's another no more. No more. I'm going to do this later. No more tomorrows. No more. I'm going to restart recovery after the summer. No more. I'll work on this when work slows down. No more, I'll get help when I have more time or when I have more money or when I get another resource. Someday, so someday is come and gone. And you know the truth about someday. It simply doesn't exist. So the question I want you to ask is, how long have you been saying someday? How long? You've been saying someday, but for how long? 1 year, 5 years? Do you have another 20 years? The woman who's free understands that recovery doesn't happen in perfect timing. Actually, I believe it happens in God's perfect timing, but recovery creates perfect timing. The fact that you're listening to the show and that you have the nudge to want something more for your life says more to me than you will ever know. And it's the reason why I get so passionate and hyped up is because I felt God prompting me for a really long time in my heart. Like, Lindsay, you know what you're doing is not good for you, and yet you're still choosing to do that. It created a lot of shame. It created a lot of guilt in me, which pushed me further into the disorder. But eventually it was like, no more, no more, no more. I can't try to control my way out of this. Recovery creates the perfect timing. You don't wait until you're ready. You decide. No more. No more waiting. No more. Here's another one. No more, I'm not good enough yet, or I'm too old. No more, I'm not sick enough. The amount of times I have said, I'm not sick enough, or have heard a client say that to me, I'm too old. I should have had this figured out by now. It's too late. Listen to me carefully. You are never too old to reclaim your life. You are never not sick enough to deserve freedom. It is never too late to become who you are meant to be. I don't care if you have 10 days left on this planet. Like, nobody knows how long we have. I literally could walk outside and get hit by a car. The woman at 25 who recovers and the woman at 55 who recovers, they both get the same prize. Do you understand what I'm saying? You get your life back. And a lot of times that can be scary if you have spent majority of your life in this headspace. But what I want you to understand is this is an excuse, because age doesn't disqualify you from healing. It just makes you wiser about what matters. And I'll be the first to tell you, and I think I've even shared it on the show since January, like, I have been spending a lot of reflection time really thinking about the second phase of my life, right? I just turned 40, and the first 40 years were beautiful in all the ways. I learned so much. But when you hit 40, I don't know, you become super done with excuses in every other area of your life. You don't accept excuses from the people that you work with. You don't accept excuses from your family or your husband or your friends. And so that sort of energy, it's almost like this freedom of going, this is who I am, like, this is what you get. And yet, maybe you're accepting every excuse that voice inside your mind is giving you. Oh, you're different. You've tried everything. This is just who you are now. You don't have time. Remember, this is what it takes to have willpower. You're too set in your ways. Oh, it's been working for so long. But has it? Because the woman who's free says no more. No more to the excuse factory. No more. It's that no nonsense of, I am not tolerating this any longer. That energy is going to propel you forward like nothing else ever has. When you step into the identity of the woman who says no more, you are no longer negotiating. You are no longer tolerating, and you are no longer accepting or postponing your life for perfect conditions. You become the woman who prioritizes her healing just like she prioritizes everything else that is important to her. It's no nonsense. You become so sure of who you no longer want to be that you don't care who you are yet. You haven't even figured that out. That's okay. You become the woman who invests in solutions, not excuses. I tell my team all the time, are we fighting for our limitations, or are we investing in solutions? I want you to ask yourself that question. Sis, are you investing in solutions, or are you putting money in the bank of your excuses and why this isn't working? If you're sitting here thinking no more, if you're sitting here and you're thinking, yes, Lindsay, I no longer want to live this way. I hear you. Yes, yes, yes. However, I still would live this way when I wake up tomorrow. Here are two options for you to take right now, to take action, because that is what you need to do. When you're feeling like you can't go another day, simply no more, you have exhausted all options, there's always an option. And it's probably the one that's right underneath your nose that you're refusing to even have on the table as an option. So here are two options for you. The Recovery Collective. I want you to think about joining a community support group. There are women right now, just like you, who are saying no more. No more. Group support with women who really understand exactly what you're going through might be exactly what you need. Okay, this is a light touch type model. You get to be with other women that are recovering, and we meet every other Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Stop making excuses as that time doesn't work for you. No more. We're going to find a way to figure it out. If you're interested in joining us, we meet, actually this week, we meet this Wednesday. You can go on out to herbestself.co/recovery collective. You can sign up right there. It is not a long-term commitment. You can cancel anytime you want. Find out more details out on the website. Second option, one-on-one support. If you are ready to fast track your no more journey with personalized support, I work with women who are done making excuses and are ready to reclaim their lives. You can go to herbestself.co, learn more, fill out a client application. As soon as you fill out that application, you get put in a queue. I get your application and I reach out to you to connect with you one-on-one. Here's what I want you to know. The women who say no more are immediately saying yes to freedom. Sis, you don't need more time. You don't need more readiness. You don't need more of anything except more trust and belief in yourself that you are capable. Have you not done other incredible things in your life? You need to channel that same energy that you use to literally run your ship into reclaiming your life. So today, if you do nothing else, of course, I would love to partner with you on your journey, but this really isn't to just sell you something. It is to get you moving. Today, I want you to write an eviction notice to that voice in your head. Dear voice, your lease is up. You have been living rent-free in my brain for 10 years, but your lease ends today. You are no longer welcome here. You have about 30 days to vacate the premises. Signed, the recovered me. Sis, you don't have time for bad tenants. You don't have time. Evict the voice. Reclaim your space and go out and live your life in your truth. We're not going to wait anymore. We're not going to continue the excuses. We're not going to tolerate living the lies. This week, I want you to remind yourself that you can stand in your truth and you can say no more. I hope today's show has inspired you. I was just super hot on this one. I was like, no more. We've been doing this. We've been doing this, sis. We are not doing this. Do you hear what we're saying? We're not doing this anymore. We're not doing this anymore. We have to put a line in the sand and we have to say, you know what? There are some things I will tolerate and not tolerate. There are things I've been negotiating on for years. There are things that I'm simply living with and settling for. Is this okay to me? Like, am I okay settling? And maybe you are, and that's a solid question to ask. Am I okay living this life for the end of my life? But if your answer is no, then I want you to say no more. Take this episode, share it with somebody that you love. Say this over and over to yourself this week. When that voice gets louder and louder, say no more. I believe in you, friend, and I love you, sis. Until next time, bye for now. Oh, friend, thank you so much for letting me share what was on my heart today. My hope for this podcast is to help more women find freedom from food and body. If this has empowered or blessed you, let me know. I'd be honored for your rating and review of my show, and I'd love to connect with you in my private Facebook community. You really can move from perfection to purpose. Let's break the chains together. I'll help navigate the way. Until next time, bye for now, girl.